Here they have captioned it, "The Beast of Forest Road." The Beast of Forest Road. Police say that the suspect escaped via a sewer duct in Mukuru, Kayaba, where he was traced by law enforcement, and the manhunt still continues for him. They have also sent a team down to his village in Kisii, where they're also continuing with the search. Zachary Nyaoga Obadia, the border operator who has been identified by police as the mastermind of the gang that sexually harassed a Zimbabwean diplomat who was just going about her business. It is said that she was moving from Gigiri to Parklands, and this has triggered a nationwide crackdown on the sector. And yesterday, there were barely any borders on the roads, and those that were allowed to operate, that were mostly for courier services, they were walking or rather riding with a sticker at the back of their courier containers written, "We are sorry." That is a statement they were sending yesterday. And also there was a viral video that was circulating still yesterday of some border riders in one way or the other retaliating or acting out in regards to the crackdown that is ongoing. But looking at this particular story, they have featured it as one of the possible points of conversation when it comes to the safety of diplomats in our country, considering she was a Zimbabwean citizen and the Zimbabwean president is actually in the country. And just 2 weeks ago, an Egyptian diplomat was also shot dead in the Kilimani area. So that is an area of concern by the DCI and the police, as has been captured on this story, but we'll be giving you more details in just a bit. Moving on to some politics, is there a fallout in the offing in Orca? It's make or break talks for Kalonzo, as KANU chairman Gideon Moi threatened yesterday to sever links with One Kenya should Kalonzo Musyoka fail to make a deal and heed to the calls to join the Azimio la Umoja outfit, and especially so given this coming Saturday, it is expected that the party will be naming former Premier Raila Odinga as the official flag bearer of this particular unit. That is basically what the front page has for us this day. Victor.
And you know what? On that story, the Beast of Forest Road. So somebody is saying that he's been moved from the woods, from the forest, and put in the public. You know what? Somebody said that that guy has a wife at his age. From the picture we can see on the Daily Nation, he's aged. Perhaps he has a family. Father of two.
Yes.
And you left your house in the morning to go to fend for your family, and here you are making headlines for all the wrong reasons. You know what? Think before you act. It's a cliche statement, but it means a lot. On the front page of the Star newspaper, Raila, no joint primaries for Azimio parties. ODM leader tells supporters to elect Azimio candidates. This is why we have got over 15 outfits backing former Prime Minister to face off. Actually, this is seen as a way to avert the fallout in the Azimio la Umoja outfit. They say that you are free to elect any candidate of your choice, but take that vote to the presidential ballot. That is what it means. Kamende pledges break from Harvey ahead of polls. We have got Law Society of Kenya elections happening today, and we have got 5 candidates battling for the presidency, and we'll be having that story later on, probably in the evening or tomorrow, depending on how the results will go. And still on the front page here, I have hundreds of motorbikes seized in crackdown. Actually, if you happen to have walked in the CBD yesterday within Nairobi, it's quite different. It's quiet, it's peaceful, because they have been pushed out of the CBD. And that crackdown, the government says that will continue until some sanity is restored. Lift sanctions against Zimbabwe, Uhuru tells international community. As Jane has correctly put it, the president is in the country for...
We want to follow that particular agreement. Nick Salat, who is the SG of KANU, is also on record saying that it's high time we move forward. For those that do not want to come forth with us, then it's high time we move forward. So what does this mean for ORCA as a coalition, and also the parties that are in this particular coalition, knowing fully well that he only has 2 days to decide whether he's joining Azimio or going at it alone again, bearing in mind that he has dispelled any talks of working with Kenya Kwanza? Where Where exactly does this leave Kalonzo Musyoka, even as we await that Saturday NDC from Azimio? Only time will tell. Well, away from that, as it pertains to that main suspect of that Friday incident, High Tech Club helped identify the key suspect. That is what the header has it here. And when we get to the details, I'll just be giving you details of how this happened. Clearly, they're still tracing him, and obviously they'll bring all these persons to book. And on the sidebar of the front page of this paper, KCP exam results out in 14 days, whereby the CS says that marking of test papers has already started, even as KCSE is slated to begin on Monday. And lastly, bar owners cry foul over police bribe, whereby it just states that in a period of 1 month, police officers go to pocket as much as 200 million just in bribes stemming from bar owners. How does this happen? And why exactly do they do this? Regina.
The copy of the Standard this morning, the front page is all about politics, as well as, now the new task ahead in as far as IEBC is concerned, with Marjan Hussein Marjan, then I appointed the new IEBC Chief Executive Officer. Now let's talk about matters politics, and the header here is the hardliners, mini king makers. That sounds like an oxymoron. Because would you have a mini king? Well, if you have a mini king maker, well, that is that. Now, with only 30 days remaining to deposit coalition deals with parties registrars, some political operatives are either aiding or impeding alliance building. Now, caught in the middle of this are rivals to Ruto and Raila, who are busy wooing new allies and sealing pacts. Now, in this particular read, we have 5 gentlemen. And one of them is Moses Kuria, who is Gatondo South MP. He says, time is of great essence here, and I have picked my jersey already, and I am moving on to the next stage. On the other hand, Johnston Withama, UDA party chairman, says, it all depends on who you are and from which angle you are viewing me. It is true some believe that I am a hardliner, others not. On the other hand, Junat Mohammed, who is Suba East MP and quite vocal supporter of Raila Odinga, says, whatever I do so for the greater good of my party leader and my party. I'm also aware that I'm a target of all manner of attacks. On the other hand, Cleophas Malala, Kakamega senator, says, let's not lie to one another. Junat once said he was a warrior of ODM and would not think twice on Raila's directives. Me too. I'm Musalia's Junat. Quite interesting, right? This is a conversation that Victor is going to be having, especially after this weekend. The tension is quite high in the political scene, given we are expecting a meeting to take place on the 12th. That is next week. So what we're going to see this weekend is going to give us an insight as to what would be happening on the 12th of March. On the other hand, Enoch Wambua, who is a Kitui senator, says, I am not a hardliner. What I state is purely a standpoint of my party leader, and therefore I'm amplifying his sentiments, and I can never hurt him politically by contracting his position. The hardliners, mini king makers. Mini king makers. Okay. Then we have good, bad, and ugly of Ruto's tour abroad. Now, this particular tour has, elicited a lot of debate in the political scene. Critics coming out and saying and faulting the deputy president on his statements uttered while there and the persons he met. We don't know what is your take in regard to this matter, including stories that we have given precedence on our bulletin. So we are open to your feedback. Kindly include.
And he was positively identified by his relatives, a close relative, that whatever he was wearing in that video is what he actually left home wearing that morning. According to this particular relative, they say he met him when they haven't specified the gender, but they said he was in a dark green half jacket and a red t-shirt. And when you look at that video, it is the staid particular clothes that individual has that was opening the door to the victim's car, forcing her out. Now, The manhunt intensified yesterday as detectives went out across the city deploying teams trying to locate him. He was able to escape via a what? He was able to escape the dragnet via a sewer duct Tuesday afternoon. It is said that he actually operates at the Hazina bus stop, but this particular day he had received a request via a mobile app to take a particular delivery to Westlands, and on his way back is when he met up with this particular commotion. And as is tradition with border riders, and this is according to this daily, they always gang up to protect one of their own, and he was just doing what, according to this paper, says was natural to them. So they say he is a father of two. He comes from a village in Kisii where they say he's a father of two. He's just an ordinary border rider who was caught at the wrong place at the wrong time. All right. The police have, of course, working together with the DCI, have assured that it will not be long before the suspect is arrested and charged. However, he has since switched off his mobile phone on Monday when he was informed that the police are looking for him. And even when some law enforcement officers were sent to his home in the village, his wife is said to have disappeared into the sprawl on seeing a bunch of strangers approaching the shed in their home. So that is that in regards to this story. But there's also a piece here that has been written, and the title is, "I am tired of being told to be careful in a man's world." This is an article that has been written by a woman. It goes back to a case where she actually talks of how the first time her father went to her school was when she told the dad that they have a specific male teacher. And this is back when she was in class 2. Calls them casually my girlfriend and my sweetheart. And that, she remembers, was the first time she alianza kuambiwa, be careful, you know things are not safe out here, be careful. So stop telling us to be careful. Tell men to leave us alone. With that, we want to bring to a close this particular segment. Of course, you can catch this and more details on our website, www.kbc.co.ke. Use the hashtag Good Morning Kenya to let us know where you are watching us from. Our official station handle is at KBC Channel 1. Individual handles at Ray Manyara, at Dorina Range, at Victor Olo, and at Jane Wamboy.